Welcome to Genesis Podcast. Today with Holger Diedisser, CEO of Adele Bergzauber from Germany.
A bit what is the real process, practical, of creating a brand, because everyone say, oh, I have the idea, I have some struggles, I have some difficulties, but I have some questions during the conversation that I want to talk with you. Of course, you will not tell me the secrets, because you have your own secrets, like making a bread, but
work less, sell more.
Yeah. But I really want to understand a bit, because I want to understand, because imagine if in the future, this is not my business. Imagine if in the future I think on creating my own brand, or even to understand these newer guys, because as I told you, I receive 1-2 new guys all the days, on Instagram, on the general website, even on TikTok, where I upload some videos about the things we do. Always new guys asking, I want to create my own brand. But once they came, I realized that they don't understand nothing. For example, I have some guys that send me a tech pack with a design. I want a fabric that is polyamide viscose elastan and has this GSM. And I ask, what kind of fabric it is? Is this composition? But what kind of fabric? The construction, what kind of fabric it is? Do you have a piece? No, I just have this composition. Do you understand? It's super difficult to work on this, but I'm pretty sure that this is one step. The other step is, once you start the brand, you have a lot of difficulties that I cannot imagine, because you had your own beginning, and the difficulties on having one client, shipping it, making the client support, the communication, quality control, production, everything. You made it everything. You didn't subcontract in the beginning. This is totally different. But I want to start with a question that is, if you had or what you think about your social, geographical, genetic lottery, because you was born in
Because I was born in Germany.
In Germany. Because if you born in Africa, then
it's maybe quite. I'm not. Yeah. Let's start maybe with my story. I studied something different. I studied social economic, and I worked over 10 years with disabled people, so a totally different
with
kind
disabled
of job.
people.
Yeah, with disabled people.
In Germany.
In Germany, yeah, and also 6 months in Norway, and that was also in Norway. I learned to sew, and I learned to make patterns, because it was place to work for disabled people in Norway, and they produce clothes, but in a very small way, so just 2 sewing machines, and they weave their own fabrics, so on a old woven thing.
Similar to knitwear, for example? Similar to knitwear?
No, they wove their own fabric on a woven machine.
Oh, okay.
They make woven fabrics, but so I learned there how to sew and how to make patterns, and then I came back from Norway, and I thought, maybe I start my own thing and make my hoodies and buy myself a sewing machine. So I started with 300 euros.
300 euros.
My grandma had a big house, a really old house, no heating, just an oven with a wooden oven where I fired the oven, and I sewed.
In the winter, I imagine it
was ice cold.
Yeah, I can imagine.
In the evening, it was quite hot, because I put in the wood and made fire, and it was 40 degrees and so. But in the night, it starts really, really cold. And I started with sewing by my own. The first 5 years, I sewed, or 3 years, 5 years, I sewed everything by my own. And I went to some markets. So it was kind of design market. And over the weekend, I sold them my stuff. So my hoodies and my jackets.
Oh, you were there actually selling your own stuff?
Yeah.
And this is good too.
And so I started from a really low level. Even my living standard was quite low because I came from study, so my expectations were not so high. And then I made the way step by step. So we first produced in Poland for some years with an agency at that moment. And then we figured out that they were not able to do all the styles which we imagined we would like to have. And so that was the first time we came to Portugal. And then we started here with the first denim producer. And step by step, we found some new companies who we work with.
You started in Portugal with denim?
I think we started with denim, yeah. And
this was a long time ago.
Yeah, I think it was not so long time ago. It was 2018 when we came to Portugal. And the first time.
So once we met, you were arriving to Portugal.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe
because
it was the second or the third trip or so.
Lisa was not already working with you?
We met the days before Corona started. Oh no,
it
was maybe the year before.
A year before.
But I did a cycle trip once, and it was the day before Corona. Started.
This was in the year after. Yeah. Once you came with your Grage bicycle, you were riding one. Once you came to Famalicão to meet me.
Yeah. I did my trip to all the factories with a bicycle.
Yeah, I thought it. I thought it's funny.
Yeah, that's good because if you're a small client, it's important to stay in mind. Huh?
Yeah.
Then you have to do something stupid like to come with a bike.
No, for me, I'm being totally honest. It was funny, but I think this was the key point that make our connection, because at the beginning we talk about bicycles, and you told me that you were doing mountain biking, and I told you I like doing mountain biking.
Yeah, then we had for the next time I come to Portugal, we said I have to.
And we made it a lot of times with Eurico and with Mike.
With a mountain bike gang. Huh?
Yeah. Now it's different because you have a child with you, but it was funny how our connection started. Actually, if we think about our connection started with a problem. Do you remember the paper touch problem?
No, we still don't have a paper touch fabric.
Yeah, But we were doing it, and we were having a problem with this fabric, and the connection started like that. Yeah, but you can continue.
That's still my favorite fabric is Ponte Roma fabric.
Ponte Roma. Yeah. For bombers and everything is a super good fabric, and the fabric it was quite good, and the idea was quite good. Having a Ponte Roma with a paper touch is a bit exotic, but it's not so doable. It was not. Nowadays is a different thing, but it was not so doable.
Yeah.
Portugal is having huge steps in terms of new designs and sustainability.
Yeah, that's
some years ago, the companies probably were not so used to it. Nowadays,
But all the companies out there, the fabric companies, are doing what the brands are asking for often, and now the brands are more so it's more typical to use sustainable fabrics. So it's not so untypical to mix organic cotton yarn with polyamide. So, and
this because touch on the aim in the future to have a circular economy, and if you blend a synthetic fiber with a natural one, once you go to the recycling, is a problem.
Yeah, it sounds not clever, but you still need quite often a mixture, a blend of fabrics, or a blend of fibers to have a special kind of fabric. And that's what I explain quite often. And then it's still a good idea to have organic fibers in it, because in the growing process you don't have chemicals. And that's already very, very important.
Yeah. This is one of the things that you guys preserve, but we will get it in a few minutes. You were talking that you produce your own stuff, you sell your own stuff, and I know that the first year for everyone is the hardest one, because it's a year that you are starting and you want to run, but you cannot. You don't have hair to breathe. If you understand, you told me that you started with 300 euros. How was your sales in the first year
compared to now?
No. I don't want to know now. I know that you are good, but in the first year, for example, because you bet 300 euros. Did you sell 300 euros?
I think in the first year I sold clothes for 10 or 15,000 euros.
15,000 in the first year?
Yeah, but
it's good.
That's good.
You are saying with this face that this is nothing compared to today, but it's good.
No,
in the first year, you were sewing your own stuff. You told me that you were thinking below that. Okay, let's do it step by step. In the first year, selling
to have the money for the health insurance, I sold one of my. I have an avalanche backpack. At this time, I had my first avalanche backpack. You know what an avalanche backpack is? Yeah. If you go skiing,
yes,
in the backcountry, and there's an avalanche,
and something happens,
you rub here, and then a big balloon comes out. Yeah. And I sold it because I had to pay my my health insurance. So,
is giving a sacrifice.
No, but it worked from the beginning. That's true. So in the first year, I had quite often the thoughts about what is next month. Do I will have enough money to pay my rent or so? But that
you were paying an apartment or something at the beginning, or you were living with your grandma too?
No, that was after. So my grandma was the first time, and then I moved to another city. I studied beside textile engineering, and this was the time where I pay rent and all my living costs, and it was so. In the first year, you always have in mind, can I pay next month my rent or not? But this is something what disappears with the time. And now I know I still have the problem. I still have to own my own money, earn my own money, because if I sell nothing this month, then I have no money next month. So more or less, yeah. But that's not a problem. I sell every day, kind of the same quantity.
But this is super good, selling every day
of garments. Yeah.
And what in a general point of view, what is the that sets you apart in the market, and what is the mission of your brand? Before starting on counting the why it is Adele Bergzauber, because this is, I think you told me that this is not so romantic or interesting history, but for me it is. It's super different because you created a brand that has history and has a social point of view, not just a name. But what set you apart in the market, and what is the essence of the brand?
I think that the most different to other brands is that we just produce in Europe. That's one point, and the other point is we just buy fabrics made in Europe, and so we don't have to hide anything, because we can be totally transparent what we are doing and how we do it, and I think that's a trust thing. So customers can trust us 100%. If we offer something, it's a totally fair product and it's in a high quality. That's the other point. So we just buy very, very good fabrics, and like if you buy a good fabric, you have 90% of the quality already.
Yeah.
Fixed.
It will be long life term,
Yeah.
and
On the other hand, on top, we are as sustainable as possible. So if we use cotton, then we use organic cotton. And also with the functional fabrics we do, because we let them produce in Europe, we have the best wastewater recycle systems and so in the back.
Yeah, even if you do for example, a normal polyester, and if you produce it in Europe, the standards of quality and the standards of sustainability, even if it is a normal poly,
yeah, it's still higher.
Totally different, because European Union pushes us a lot to improve the water recycling, the solar energy that everyone has nowadays, even the social responsibility. This is a super important subject, because you talk about the transparency, and we see and we had some news about some companies that talk about transparency and about sustainability, but this is a greenwashing thing. That everyone says that they are sustainable, they treat pretty well the people they are working with, and how do you do to maintain it or to control it? Because you are a guy that you are super involved in the production. You are constantly traveling to Portugal and to the other countries that you are doing it. Do you control it? You are so close because of the communication on your products, on your production, to follow your production, and even to understand these standards, and to get to know the persons that are working with you. With this question is, you want to control the production, you want to control the sustainability, but for you the sustainability is to get to know the persons, the real persons that are working with you too.
Yes. So on one hand, we don't have the manpower to control everything, and that's also a point why it's good for us to produce in Portugal, because you already have a very high standard.
It's just you and Lisa?
It's just me and Lisa and little Henrik.
And little Henrik.
And on the other hand, it's so that we go into the series, into the factories, we walk around, we talk with people, and we get our own impression here, and though that's a good company or not. So,
and we have the idea that business is business, and this emotional bound is a totally different thing. Usually we reserve this emotional bound to friendship, and business is business. And for you, is important to create a connection with the people that you work with.
It's always a mixture, And we wouldn't produce with someone we don't like.
You don't like / you don't trust.
Kind of. And I think with the most of our producers, we have a very good and strong and tight relationship. And you can see we did the last visits this time with the baby. So because without a baby, we don't have to show up there. They know we have a baby and they want to meet him.
They want to meet,
And
even for them is good, because they build this bond with you too. And they feel more approachable, and they know your history, and the little Henrik will grow, and in the future, in 20 years, he will be in the business too. So it's history being made.
I think it's just important to have a very close relationship, because then you can also work better together, because then you can use just text mails via WhatsApp to work together, because when you trust each other, then you don't need to go the official way. You just have the short, easy way to talk.
If you
to
trust
each
the
other.
people, if they are worthy and is easy. It's not difficult to find real good people to work with, but it's not difficult. It's not easy to. Depends always on. This will be always depending on what kind of people you are too. Because if you are a pretty good approachable person,
you have to find the correct, the right company for yourself and for your company. So you have to work on a eye level.
With the people that have the same vision that you have.
Yeah.
Because everyone say, I want to work with the best. Yeah, but what is the best?
Yeah. And who's the best for you? That's the question.
Who's the best for you? Because this company can be the best, but the communication is not good. The product is not is good, okay, but once you are buying a garment, you are not just buying this physical product. You are buying the full communication, the support, the trust.
Yeah.
Because you need to trust the supplier. Because you are laying down your in your bed to sleep, but you have things running. People working for you. They are not your direct employees. They are indirect employees, but you need to trust them. Because if you don't trust them, you cannot be in Germany. You cannot take your van and go to do a trip in Italy. Because you need to be always here pushing and seeing, because you don't trust. They are doing the things in the wrong way. But if you trust it, this is a game changing in the business. For this aspect of international business, that you are based in a country and you have a person doing the things for you. This is a totally different thing. Some people know, and I know too, but what meaning has for you, and what is the history behind Adele Bergzauber? Because this.
You mean the full story?
The full story.
The full story.
For me, it's romantic.
Yeah.
It's romantic. Yeah.
It's romantic.
It gives essence to the brand.
So Adele is a name in Germany and the rest of the world, I think, as well. Or
in UK too.
Yeah, in UK too. Very popular there. And Adele is actually the best friend, or she was the best friend of my grandmother. They both died in the last years. But she got 98 years old, and she was a very funny, a little bit mean.
Mean?
Yeah, she was. If she did not like people, and she was mean, but in a funny way. Yeah. So, and
the typical German way.
No, not typical German way. This was more the Holger and Adele way. Yeah.
Okay.
So we were kind of the same people.
You had a connection.
In very different ages.
Yeah. Okay.
So, but it was quite nice because I worked in the house of my grandmother, and she and my grandmother met again when they were, I think, 80 on the market, because my grandmother lived a long time in another city, and without Instagram, Facebook, and all the modern connections, they lost their connection.
Yeah.
And they lost it after the war. That's so a long time. And then they met with 80 again and started to be best friends again. And they act like a 17-year-old girl team, and they always were chatting on the phone, and so
they both have their own gang.
They were their own gang from there on. And she stayed every day in our house. And the most funny thing is she moved in our house with 90, because my grandmother started to be not so in a physical good shape anymore, and Adele decided to move to her and helps her,
give some support and
give
company.
Some support. And then she moved there, and then we lived there together. for some years, and that was quite funny because we have a house full of people, more generations, in a really special way. And the nice thing is because
Sorry to interrupt. Do you want pastel nata?
absolutely
Pastel, fantástico. Do you want a water?
a coffee.
E posso tirar dois cafés, faz favor? Dois cafés?
Yeah. Yeah, and that was.
Dankeschön, Dankeschön. Ah, super good. Das ist wunderbar. Das ist wunderbar.
Muito obrigado. Oh, they are black on the top. I like it.
These are the better ones.
I try to give the sound here.
Yeah.
That's
the
the
typical pastel de nata. These are the better ones. Are made here in Paf.
That's not a better one.
Yeah, this is.
They are good ones.
Better than
better
one.
And they are the best.
The best.
But yeah, every time I'm here, then it changes where you get the best.
Yeah, but here are the best. I can tell you.
It's very good.
Yeah, but tell me the history, because this history is super.
Yeah, and it wasn't a
superhuman.
In the beginning, it was not the idea to have a real brand called Adele, but it developed, and we had a name, and we liked the story, and so we stick to it. So Adele Bergzauber.
Why did you continue? The people liked the history, or you didn't share?
I liked the story by myself as well, because
if you believe
it's the coolest story ever. And
yes, it is.
I learned from her also how to sew. She was a sewing lady, so that's what she learned after school, how to sew, and so she showed me how to sew on the sewing machine of my grandmother. And yeah, that's a nice background. And now that the name just is on the top of our clothes, we don't tell the story so intensive since she died, but it's still a very good story, and maybe we tell it in more.
It's something that you don't talk, but is there.
Yeah,
because it's the basis.
It's
if you go, for example, in your website, if you know a bit about the brand, you know that Adele Bergzauber is a name of a real person that give you the support, to give you the knowledge to start a business, and of course, you will not. It's the same thing as sustainability. You will not say you are not saying day after day we are sustainable, we are sustainable, we are sustainable, but you are. This is the same thing.
And that's nice. I think that we use the name, or that we have the name of Adele, is something like that we produce in Europe. So it's just a true thing. So it's not a story we imagined and we written down. So it's a real story.
Yeah.
So, and it's the same thing with producing in Europe. It's a real thing. So you can do it, and you have this great quality. You have nice partner. You don't make your money on the back of somewhere in Bangladesh. So
nothing against, because everyone needs to have an opportunity to make business. Nothing against, but
that's good that people have a work in Bangladesh. That's true, but it's not good that the people who produce there for, I have no idea how many.
Me neither, because if I go to some stores and if I see a T-shirt selling for €2, in Portugal, this doesn't pay the fabric.
A jeans for €25.
This doesn't pay the fabric. If you look, it doesn't pay the fabric. How can they do it? It is what it is. This is not the right way to proceed, because you are seeing a lot of good brands that earns a lot of money producing there. But this is another subject.
No, it's not. I think it's part of. It's also part of us. I explained 2 days ago, one of our producers, that I see myself and Adele Bergzauber now more than a Portuguese brand and a German brand.
Yeah.
Because we produce everything in Portugal. So we have all our production is here now. So that's.
Do you want to come to live to Portugal? I've made this question a lot of times, but
Yeah.
Do you want to come and live here?
I say, so we think about. We are thinking about, but not forever. Just maybe then one time for a year or two, or mix it a little bit.
But
buy an apartment here, stay here for 3 months, go back to Germany, and stay here again 3 months. It would be good for working, because every time we are here in Portugal and stay here longer than a week, then so many things happen which we not have planned before, and so when we are here, we find new producers, we find new fabrics, because then you're talking about one product, so or one sample, one prototype, and you say, yeah, it's a very, very good product, but I need another fabric for this part. Do you have any idea where I can get this fabric? And then, yeah, maybe you should ask LMA. And then I go out of the appointment, take my telephone, and have a call with Adriana from LMA. Then I sit in my car and go to Adriana and be there for 2 hours and check out some new fabrics. And in this moment when I check the fabric, I already have a new idea of a new product, because I find a very nice, good new fabric, which I would like to use.
Yeah.
And
it's different because you are in the field and you have the opportunity to visit the facilities and to imagine. For us that we are in the field, we don't know everyone.
Yeah.
We don't know everyone. We cannot know all the companies of trims, of fabrics, garment makers, dyeing house. We don't know everyone.
Yeah.
Imagine you being in Germany. It's difficult.
Yeah.
It's difficult.
And now, at the moment, we have a nice network. So we know a lot of producers, garment producers, fabric producer, and also additionals in our bubble where we need to know it. So we have for everything now.
Because you made your homework.
And we like it. So that's a personal thing. We like it to be here in Portugal and stay a little bit longer and find all these opportunities. But that's the thing what we like as persons. I don't think if you have an agency like yours, then you don't have to do all this work by yourself.
Yeah, we need to do it.
Yeah, but I like it.
Yeah.
But that's also the style I like to work. So I do everything by my own. Our website is made by our own. And
me too.
Yeah.
We do our own website. We do our own socials.
Yeah.
And we don't subcontract, because this is a super important thing, because imagine nothing against the companies that subcontract, for example, the marketing thing, nothing against, but to share your own philosophy, it needs to be you. You need to be involved in the process. Even if it's not you that are taking the pictures, it's not you that are creating the history associated to the brand, you need to be involved, because it's about you.
Yeah.
If you subcontract, they will just come to the company taking some pictures. Okay, what you do? What is the certifications that you guys do? What is the philosophy? And you say some things, that's things true. In the,
But it's also because we are in the beginning, so we are still small brands or small companies.
You are not so in the beginning.
And I'm always in the beginning. I will tell it in 20 years of air, we're still a small brand in the beginning. Because maybe I like the status.
You like the status
of the beginning,
being an temporal entrepreneur.
Yeah, and then you can do whatever you think it's right. And in the beginning you have to do everything by your own, because you cannot spend here 5,000 euros, 10,000 euros. It makes more sense to do it by your own, and it's very interesting what everything is possible, and not what everything, what is possible to do, because you can do your own website, especially right now with all the new tools out there. So you don't have to program, you just have to drag and
have
drop.
no code, a lot of no code platforms.
Yeah, and even our accounting is made with a software, and all the invoices were written by themselves, by the software. And
B2C too?
Yeah, B2C too. And so we have a nice system in the background made of 3 or 5 different programs, and they work nicely together. And we save all the work there in this automation process.
This is not good in terms of creating jobs.
No, that's you have to imagine someone have to program programs as well.
Okay.
So I think that's.
And what do you think about the AI in the future? They will need programmers too.
AI is great, but AI is also stupid. So I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's learning.
It's learning. Yeah,
it's learning. Did you start? Did you use the ChatGPT in the beginning? For example, just to test.
No, not in the beginning.
I used in the beginning to test, and nowadays if I use it, it's a completely different thing.
Yeah, but still, it's you cannot use the text 100%. You still have to work on it to use it. But I use it in that way. For example, for social media, when I have a nice idea, I write in a ChatGPT version.
Just for organize.
And then I say, optimize this text, please. And then, okay, now it looks a little bit nicer. It's just 5%. So it's now more organized.
So. Improved a bit.
Yeah. And makes it faster. So I don't have to read it 3 times to find the right position for every sentence. So now it's a bit organized, but I read still all the text by myself. I don't say, please write a text about mountain biking. And so you still have to give the story. Yeah, you have to write all the details that it makes sense.
It's like an orchestra. You are the person in charge, and you say, okay, I want to say things about this and this and this, touch this and this point. This is my point of view. Create a text, and you create a text following this. You told me that your brand, you feel more like a Portuguese than German, and you spend a lot of time in Portugal, and nowadays the people can buy things from all over. Do you have your community is just German / Austrian / this region, or are you receiving too? Because in Portugal we have a lot of tourism. A lot of German people came to Algarve, to Porto. We have a lot of people coming here to live too. Do you have your own community just closed in your region, or are you seeing that the Portuguese people or the German / Portuguese people are bringing your business to Portugal too? Do you receive a lot of orders from here, for example?
From Portugal, no.
No.
We have mainly orders from Germany and from Austria because of the language, and also from Switzerland. And also we did all our advertising.
Because you just communicated in German, correct?
Yeah, and because we do all our advertising in Germany, in Germany right now. We did it all also in Austria and Switzerland, but right at the moment we just do it in Germany, and that's why our customers all came from Germany. And we spent last year 2 months in Norway and in Sweden, and then I thought it's a good idea to use Facebook, Instagram ads also in these regions.
Yeah, because they use your products.
Yeah, they use the product. And they're really into this outdoor clothing stuff, and we tried to spend some money in these countries for ads, and it worked. It worked, but you still have the language barrier.
So you
also have the shipping barrier. So someone from Norway knows if I order something in Germany, I have to pay some extra taxes, and so inside the EU, it's pretty easy and quite good, but still you have the problem if you buy something. So if you live in Sweden, you buy something from Germany, you have to send it back because it do not fit, or it was the wrong size. Then it's quite expensive to send it. And yeah, as long we have this
you guys
problem,
support these costs. For example,
no, just inside Germany.
Just inside Germany. Okay.
Because the shipping outside Germany, it's already quite expensive.
Yeah.
From Germany to Austria, for example, and
from
inside
Germany to Austria,
it's already expensive. Yeah. Even if the Austrian city, it's just 5 kilometers over the border. Yeah.
They pay duties.
And yeah, and that's why we are just do our advertising in Germany. And I don't think that so the market in the south of Germany, so Spain, Portugal, I think it's different. They wear different clothes, and you can buy here different kind of styles. So it's more sporty, more summer clothes.
Yeah.
And in the north,
because we are in the south. Yeah.
Yeah, in the north, so we have more products for the time for 8 months of the year, and then we have 3 T-shirts for the summertime. Yeah. And
made in merino wool.
Made in merino wool, still warm. Huh? And yeah, that's why I think it's 2 different markets. Yeah. But maybe you start an outdoor brand here there is an outdoor brand which is quite nice in Portugal.
In Portugal? Yeah. What is the name?
Indigatio?
Indigatio?
I don't know. I don't pronounce it in the right way.
Yeah, but you need to show me. Probably I know it.
They have nice flannels.
The Portuguese flannel is super, super good.
Yeah. We use a lot of Portuguese flannel.
Yeah, it's super good. Even if it is cotton, it's super good. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I've sold a lot of Portuguese flannel to US.
Mm-hmm.
I sell a lot. So you are doing your first steps in terms of internationalization. You are trying to do it for the Nordics, mm-hmm. But are you trying because this is an important thing? You are just communicating in German, mm-hmm. And this is you are telling me that this is good because you have your own community, and I know this. Everyone has it. For example, I'm pretty sure that the majority of the Portuguese guys want to buy something in a Portuguese website, mm-hmm. that they understand everything, and probably the Germans are the same thing. They if it is truly German, they want to read German, mm-hmm. But you are seeing that this is a difficulty for you to sell more because you are saying that you are in the beginning, and as you say, you are always in the beginning.
Always.
But as you have a child today, in 10 years it will grow, in 20 years it will be a totally different person, and the companies are made by persons. And I'm pretty sure that you want to grow too. You don't want to sell just the same thing.
Oh, we do grow.
Yeah. But to grow more,
mm-hmm.
Do you think that you need to change your approach, your communication, talking different languages, or you will maintain the basis, the communication as a German, strictly?
To be honest, so the German market is quite big. So
it's huge.
Yeah.
Comparing to Portugal, it's huge.
Yeah. We have over 80 million people.
Yeah.
And
if everyone buys your brand, you don't need to make the...
Yeah. I don't have to talk in English. Okay. And yeah, so I don't think it's so important to go the international way. It would be nice, but...
Do you want to do it?
Not now, not at the moment, not with a focus. So what we did, I think over a year, our social media in German and in English. So we always had on top or text in German, and then we had in a button.
So you changed a bit.
No, the problem is we have a baby now, and we don't have so much time now. And also on Instagram, there's just a button under the. Did you see it in the caption? Translate.
But sometimes the translation is not so good.
Yeah, but still.
Yeah, I can tell it because I translate already some text from you.
Yeah, if I want to read something in Portuguese, then it push just translate and don't try to understand what's there written.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think maybe that's faster in the future, all this automatic translation than I am. Because now you have already some, you can have some subtitles in your language in live. So if we would chat in German and Portuguese, you can, in the newest version of Windows PC, you can say translate it, and then you have a live translation in your language. And things like that, I think, goes so fast. Also with the KI, and we maybe will not have this problem anymore. Or we switch totally in English. That's also nice, because the English speaking people in Germany are also getting older. The problem is we have our customers are between maybe 35 and 60 or so. And the more they're older, the better they said. Yeah.
Why they are why? Because I'm seeing that these new generations are changing everything in terms of business perspective, design perspective, way of consuming. Why your community of partners, not customers, because they are your partner, because they follow you, they communicate with you, they believe you. Why you are selling just for these people is a people that think like you, a people that have the same philosophy you have, because you have this age, this way of thinking, and you don't want to bet in the newer generations, or your focus, your product line is created thinking in this niche, in this.
That's kind of. So one point is we make clothes, which we wear by our own. So I say, normally we make clothes for ourselves, and then we turn up the quantities.
The community follow you, and you don't follow the community.
Basically. And the rest is kind of organic. So because we do our advertising over the social media channels, and if you do paid ads, you just say, bring my ads to the right people. And today you don't know who, or you don't see who are the right people. That's all the algorithm is doing. Yeah, they bring it to people who likes to go outdoor, be in the mountains.
Yeah, they follow this thing.
And in the end, we
lifestyle, sustainability. If they search these things, they share.
And also the income and how much can they spend for clothing and so. And the algorithm finds out these people are between 35 and 60, for example.
What we call active people, because I can imagine that a guy that goes to university and is paying the bills don't want to buy a super good quality jacket to be.
Yeah, or there are some probably, but the majority is
are people
older,
that work and
have maybe a kid, and
possibilities to buy a good jacket with a good quality made in Europe.
Yeah.
Because the majority of the younger guys goes to
and also maybe they go to other brands, to other styles. Maybe there's also there in Germany, I think a lot of people like to buy fair produced clothing.
Fair paid.
But there are still some clothes that are not produced in Europe. So but they are still fair produced And so they spend a lot of money, but maybe not that much. And yeah.
You are in Germany, and what is for you the balance? Because we know that I know a lot of huge and medium and smaller German brands. I've been working with you. I've worked with you a long time ago. I've made already my work in German market, but nowadays I'm realizing that some brands really look sustainability and fair paid and European production. But there are some bigger too that don't produce in Europe. Some produce in Turkey and some in Asia. What is the balance nowadays? Because I'm not in Germany, and you are in the business. You know it better than us. What is the balance? Do you think that, for example, European Union is suffering a bit. Germany is suffering a lot in terms of economy. It is what it is. The car production is in crisis. Is a super big economy subject for Germany. Do you think that the brands like you? I'm pretty sure that brands like you will continue producing in Portugal because your philosophy, your idea, your image is based on producing in Europe and fair trade, fair trade. Do you think that some brands will start producing in Turkey and Asia because with crisis, the price is the king?
Well, I'm not sure if the price is the king.
No?
You have to tell a story. Price is not so important.
Correct. But the story is a story. But once you... if you have 50 euros in the pocket to buy a jacket, you can tell a super good story, but you continue having 50 euros. You don't have 150.
But the people don't buy just the really cheap stuff. Not everybody goes to H&M and buy the jeans there. They want to have the feeling to make a very good deal, and some of them want to spend better a little bit more and have a nicer quality, or you also the feeling of wearing something made in Portugal is important, and then they spend a little bit more here, and so the price is not the king at all. Otherwise we wouldn't have expensive brands. So we are not an expensive brand. We are something in the middle. They are much more expensive brands.
So you think with the crisis, everything will be maintaining the same, and
I think that the
in
brands
Europe is increasing.
Who produce just in Europe will still produce in Europe. I think the bigger brands who produce already in Asia or somewhere else, they will do it maybe a little bit more. So price wise, because they not advertise with it that it's made in Europe. And I don't know, maybe they don't care.
They don't need this history, correct?
Yeah.
Probably they can have a corner or one or two products that are European made to say European made. We do our own thing. Actually, I think it is in Sweden. The government is increasing the pressure of buying. For example, I think it's 25% of what you buy needs to be produced in Europe.
Okay.
And this is increasing. And probably some of these bigger brands are trying to do it because they are seeing some rules that the European Union is trying to apply to improve in this thing, to be more protective of the economy. Probably some companies will do it, but I'm pretty sure that the future is to increase the production and buying the production made in Europe, because this will help our economy. Of course, we are in a world, and we suffer. We gain more, but we suffer of the globalization. We can sell for everyone. We can buy from everyone, even if we pay duties or not, higher or smaller. But I believe that the future to protect our economy is to push the companies and to educate the consumer that Here in Portugal, we had a long time ago a campaign that said, "O que é nacional é bom. What is national is great."
Mm-hmm.
And in Europe, I think we both together we need to do the same thing to protect our economy, to increase a bit, because nothing against Asia, nothing against all of the.
To be honest, for me, it's not that we keep the economy and the effort in Europe.
Not keep 100%. Maintaining.
So it's not so. That's not my oh, what's missing. That's not my intention. Well, or my first intention. So it's more the I don't want to produce clothes, or I don't want to have my own. I don't want to have an income which is based on what's I'm missing now. I need a bite of pastel.
Based just in pricing
Mm.
or profit.
I don't want that anyone who produces our clothes have a bad life. So the idea is you help us to have great
social
clothes which we can sell on great people, and we don't want that you have to live 5 hours away from your family, like it is in Bangladesh, where people live in a big city, that they have the chance to get a work in a sewing factory, but they see their own family just 1 time, 2 times a year. And their own family, I don't mean their parents, I mean their children. Yeah? They live far away from the children to get a job in a sewing factory, to sew for a low price, very low price, for a German or a Swiss company, and they sell it here for a cheap price, so that they can sell a trouser for 80 euros or for 100 euros, and they go to Bangladesh and let people produce their clothes far away from their own families. And that's so wrong, and that's the main problem. And yeah, and that's why we produce in Portugal, because here everybody goes home to their children after work, or comes with a car.
I thank you for that.
Yeah,
I thank you for that, because this is being social responsible.
Yeah, but it's not. I don't want to help the economy here, because I think the economy in Europe, it works.
It works.
The
money just need to
I'm not
to work, because the
a
economy
small
works.
brand like me don't have a big effort here for the economy, but
no,
our message,
everyone is important.
What we are telling about that we produce in Europe maybe helps that bigger companies which have more impact will also start producing more and more in Europe, and maybe that happened.
Even if you are not so small, your brand is not so small, but even if you are a small brand, I always talk with the smaller guys that want to start a brand, or even with the clients that are well known. I always say that all the clients are important. Can change, the philosophy can change, everything can change, but all the clients are important. And from this point of view, even if the income that you are bringing to the country or bringing to a company, even if it is represent just 5% of is 5%.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, but what I wanted to say is, so it shouldn't be forbidden to produce in other countries than in Europe. So, but you should pay that the people can have a living standard, and not a minimal living standard, and also not a double minimal standard. They should have the same standard as you are. If you want to live with your family and your kids. And as long this is not possible in other countries, you maybe should not produce there, or you should have your own company there and make it possible. Huh?
Yeah.
So
I can imagine that some people that does it in bigger brands, probably some people are against it, but in the final, they have people above that. If the people inside of the company is just a number, if they are just a number, imagine the people from the Bangladesh. They don't know. They just look to an Excel page. This is the income. This is the outcome.
Mhm.
So you understand how it is. But I'm pretty sure, and I work with some, the majority of them, actually all of them, if they produce in Portugal, they have the same image as you. And I have the same image as you have. Of course, the price needs to be workable for everyone, because if my client has a good price, he will have a good price for his client. But of course, the price needs to be good for the production too.
Yeah.
Needs to be good for everyone, as you were saying. Not the minimum like a Bangladesh, not the double like a.
Yeah,
I don't know.
what we do, we compare inside Portugal. So we know with this company we have a low price, but on Portuguese niveau, because here we don't have a pattern maker in house, we don't have the best quality control, and so that's a company where we have to go more often, and we have to spend more time of ourselves to have a look on the quality and that everything runs quite well. And then we have other companies that we pay more, they have a higher price.
But they control everything.
Yeah, and they control everything, and they have a really, really good quality without any help by ourselves. So, and yeah, that's for us.
You pay more, but you do less.
Yeah, exactly. And you always get what you pay. So be careful, don't pay too less. And yeah.
You were saying about family, about being with your child, on the balance with life and work. I want to go to this part to know how it is to be a dad nowadays with a small child and doing what you do. But first, I have a question that I always ask to myself: how it is to work with your wife, because
it works fine. Yeah, we have a good
but it works fine. No,
it works really good. Yeah, it's a pleasure. Yeah,
she is rearing, so you need to say
definitely. Hello, Lisa. It works very, very good. And another good thing is we have two completely different style of working. So Lisa is really strict and concentrated, and I'm very creative.
Yeah, I've understood already.
Yeah, that's
she's really focused,
and that's very important. So it gives Lisa's jobs and my jobs, and
easier. Yeah,
and we do it good together. And now we have the baby. So,
but it was always like that, or because Lisa was working for a company. She told me to, and after she was not so happy, and she changed and started.
No, it was more we Adele Bergzauber wrote,
and you need help.
And I need help. Yeah, it was a lot of work at that moment, at that time, and I decided we would earn enough to have a second person, and and then it was quite easy to make the decision that Lisa will be the second person, because she always was part of it over the last 10 years.
Like a part-time, correct? Part-time
like a partner.
On the backstage.
Yeah. So, but she was always 100% from her mindset in the brand. And and now it's easier because we are really working on this and together, and now it just works. She has her own partners, which she's working with, and I have my own. And
you work with some partners, and she worked with another one.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you
Split it
were
in.
the creator guy in terms of product and in terms of design, and she was dealing with the production.
Yeah, that's
Just.
no. That's yeah. But we have 9 partners, I think, so active partners who work together. So it makes sense to split them, and I do most of the designs and tech packs, and Lisa makes then a communication with her partners,
Okay.
and yeah, some of the products I have no idea what's happened there, and that's good
Okay.
because then I can focus more on mine, and yeah.
But do you have some difficulties sometimes because once you have a person that is super connect with you and because I always talk about it. Sometimes I see some companies that are family companies, and it's good because everyone feels the same thing. Everyone gives more. I think they give more because it's a family business. But sometimes you can have some shocks because do you understand?
No, actually not.
No, because you are more open. So do you understand? You are more open. You have more como é que se diz? Estás mais, quando tu estás mais ligado a uma pessoa, tipo, tens mais à vontade. You are more approachable. You know more the person. You are more open to say more things. Because if you have just a strict business conversation,
You don't fight so personally, huh? Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, I was avoiding the fight conversation,
No,
the fight word. But,
it's a simple bad English here, so
yeah,
we can name it fight.
Yeah.
And yeah, we can fight about colors. Yeah, so it's not
Yeah.
a problem to be angry on each other because I said or she said that she don't like this color, and I really want a green trouser. She hates the green trouser. Why do you hate the green trouser? That can be get very personal.
This color is wunderbar.
Yeah. And yeah, but overall, it's the best thing to work together because you can spend all your time together. And what is also nice, you are allowed to speak at dinner about some fabrics. Yeah, you can always speak about what's in your mind at the moment.
You bring the job to your home?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
We mix it quite hard, but we do a lot of traveling. We have a lot of free time. We travel with a bus. Yeah, we mix it in a 100% mixed way, and it's very special what we do. But it's the best thing to work and to live. It's just to mix it together, and yeah.
I can imagine that working with her make your life easy because you are together. And you can do your own trips as you are always doing in Italy and Nordics and everything. Because if you guys were not working together, she can work for another company making home office. But
we did that once in New Zealand.
In New Zealand,
yeah, Lisa did work for another company and worked then from above, like in a home office, but more or less 20% than a normal 100% job. And because he had so many overtimes, extra hours. And yeah, that worked as well. You have to find the right employer. Something like that.
The right employer.
To work remotely. Yeah. Start work remotely.
Yeah. And nowadays, how it is... how it was your adaptation? Because
with a baby,
because
with a baby, it's so.
I can imagine that it's difficult for you sometimes working because you are always traveling, but you are with Lisa, you support each other.
Yeah, and also
now
we did work together, both of us 100%. So together we had 200%. Now we have together with a baby 50% of time to spend on the company. So we have still to figure out how to work and hang up with a baby, because it's so cool to have a baby and to hang out with him.
I
and
can
I don't
imagine
want
that
to
it's
spend
better
all my
being with a
time
baby than being working. I can imagine, even if the brand is
for
yours.
me. Just, but if you have the baby, then it's better to work, because the
Yeah.
baby is not really. It's a hard
Five
job.
minutes is good, but after that, always
Yeah.
screaming and
But
want.
so in the beginning, we really worked less and enjoyed a lot of the baby, and now we work both. I think kind of normal. So the business runs like before, but it's a lot more intensive now, because you're kind of tired when you spend the day with a baby, and then you have to answer in the evening all your emails, and so it's a bit difficult, but it's still fine. It's great to have a baby and to have the business and do it just by our own.
Actually, you have two babies.
Hmm?
Actually, you have two babies.
Oh, the company is a baby.
The companies.
That's
If
too romantic.
if you say you are always in the beginning, is always a baby.
That's true.
Yeah. You need to treat well. You need to feed.
Yeah, and you are responsible. And,
you are responsible.
And there are some parts you cannot shut down. So you always have to do some everyday jobs, and but it works. Yeah, and we do it like we ever do. We mix it. So it's not one person who stays at home. We are both try to go in the office, and at the moment Lisa is doing more with a baby than me.
Because you are here and she's not.
Yeah, and she has to feed the baby.
I can imagine.
That's something I can't do. But it works fine. But it's definitely a new thing. Also to travel with a baby in Portugal, visit companies with a baby who don't like to drive at all, and that's quite.
He's a little tough guy,
but he is a tough guy, and he's really friendly, active. You will meet him on Sunday, and and on the other hand, it makes work much more easier in Portugal, because if I need something like a measurement chart, before the baby, I had to write an email. I had to write an email with, I have here the samples and I would like to have the control measurement chart. Can you send it to me, please? Then 2 days were gone until I get my measurement chart. Now I sitting there with a baby with a measurement band, and the baby sits on top of the trouser, and I take a picture, send it via WhatsApp, and say, the baby needs the measurement chart as fast as possible. It's just 2 minutes, and I have my measurement chart. So it makes my life easier, way more easier.
It's tricky.
Yeah. And also, if we go to appointments, it was so nice in the first one. They built a playground a little, with a little house and a little floor thing with shiny, colorful squares, and and on the second appointment they had a Christmas present for Henrik, a little book with funny noises, and I took him all the time in the suites and walk around to say every lady hello. And it was funny because then you also can feel how is the feeling, how are the people in the suite?
It's icebreaker.
It's an icebreaker, it is. And
he's a funny guy. Yeah. He's a funny guy. I've seen him approving some lab lips.
Yeah. I showed you some pictures. Yeah.
Since the beginning, he's already in the business. Yeah. I have just 2 questions because I know that you don't have a lot of time. When is I was talking in the beginning. I have some doubts. How it is to start? You talk about starting a brand, but technically, for example, how did you manage on because in the beginning you were sending your own orders. How did you manage sending everything for different places, controlling, for example, if you have some clients that are a bit tougher, they comply about some things. How did you manage in the beginning? Because some guys think that creating a brand is just having a product and having a Instagram and share some image, but there's a lot of things associated, the customer service, the logistics. How did you manage it? Give me, for example, an example how to deal with it in the beginning. Because imagine,
in the beginning we had our online shop, then you get an order, then you pack your stuff together, and then you write by hand on the package the address and a little card, say hello, like into it.
Did you still do it?
Then you pack and send it. No,
you don't.
Unfortunately, not.
A lot of orders, I can imagine.
Yeah, so many orders. But that's the first step, and then the second step was that we had a program in the background, and then we could print the packing label by ourselves and put it on top. So that was our improvement, step 2. And now we have a fulfiller. So we have a company who's doing the packing and shipping for us.
Oh, you subcontract this service?
Yeah. Before we flew to New Zealand, we started with this as a trial, and now we do it since 5 years.
Because once you are always traveling,
then it's very good to have.
You need someone to do it, because
in the beginning my father did it.
No.
When we were traveling, that was funny. And then we were skiing in Japan, and he was packing our orders.
I didn't know.
In the early beginning, we closed the online shop. Then there was a red text on the homepage which says we are in holidays.
No way.
Yeah, we closed
like
it.
A physical store.
Yeah.
Okay,
like
we are closed.
Yeah,
we will return in 3 weeks.
Yeah. That's what we did.
Oh, this is funny, because I
forgot that we should do this from time to time now. Just to have some real holidays.
2 weeks.
Yeah. Closed now. Or over the summertime, like
with a photo of Henrik.
Yeah.
We are playing with Henrik.
Yeah.
We will return in 2 weeks.
Yeah. That's good. Or we should have closing hours from 8 to 8. Over the night time, you should not buy something. Yeah, it's not maybe a clever idea.
In terms of philosophy and from the client point of view, for the ones that search the balance between
maybe they had one beer too much, and then they buy a really expensive jacket. Yeah, it's not a good idea. Maybe
they can be drinking a beer.
Don't drink and buy,
and eating a pork knee. In a Marienplatz, for example. Who knows?
Yeah. That was one improvement, for example. What we did, so the shipping to give it, to outsource it, and
this is good to know, because can seem simple to everyone, but it's simple.
And you can start to doing everything by your own. So you can do your homepage by your own, and step by step you can source it out and find someone who can do it better. But in the beginning, you should be able to do everything by your own. And that's how we learned to photograph, for example. So we took all the pictures by our own, but in the beginning they were not so good as now. But now we are able to do.
Now you are able to do good things, even if you do by yourself. About warehousing, for example, because I have some customers that they are from all over, and they want to produce in Portugal, and they want to have, for example, a warehouse here. Do you have your own, or this company that you subcontract, they do the things?
Yeah, they do the warehouse as well.
Oh, this is good.
Because
you don't need any space. You just have your studio in Germany, and they deal with everything.
Yeah.
And how do you do the quality control? You do it here in the production?
No. We take some pieces out of the. Okay. So sometimes when we have a new partner, then we send us 2 samples and
control it until you gain the trust, correct?
And Yeah, with most of our companies, we do it like that. That we get we check the PPS, then we have the production, then we get the whole production in our warehouse. Then we go there, pick some random pieces, and do quality check and also measurement. And check is everything right. And if something is really not okay, then we send it back, and then they have to improve it and send it back again.
Normal.
Yeah. But to be honest, it was just one time that we had to send something back because the measurements were out of tolerance, and then we had to relabel it. So we just changed the size. So normally we find a solution. So it's not always the best for us, because when we change the sizes in a existing production, then we have probably in the end a lot of XS, and what should we do with so many XS?
What you sell more is X, M, and L.
Yeah,
in Germany, she's L too. I have just two questions. One is one thing that I always ask, because what we do shows a lot about ourselves than more than what we say. What we say shows too, but what we do shows a lot. What were and what are today the mini habits you have that brings you until here? Because to be an entrepreneur, to create your own job, to having a company that you are a guy that I feel like I'm a bit like you. You want to have your feet on the ground, going step by step. But even so, you are a dreamer. But what were until today, and what are the mini habits that you have today that makes Holger a success business guy? Because you have success, you are doing your thing.
Yeah, but it's not. I don't have a. You mean something like I wake up every morning at 5, and then
You don't wake up.
Then I meditate first, and I don't do all those.
You don't do that?
No, I'm just a
super normal guy. I wake up when I wake up.
I just believe in everything. So if I have the idea, we should have jackets. Jackets will be the next big thing for us. Then I start to design jackets, let's produce them, and if it don't work, then I don't stop working. Then I think we should have some better outdoor trousers, and then I start producing it. And I never give up. And I always have this positive mindset, and I have this look in the future that this will work so well. And if it's not, then it's not so don't destroy me. Then the next thing will work pretty good. And
this is a good philosophy.
And that helps me to go forward all the time. And that's the good thing. If you produce clothes for yourself, so more or less for what you do, and because you always need something new for yourself, and then you have a good start to produce something new, to develop a new product. So if I'm freezing, I design a warm jacket. Normally I get it 1 year later, but still I get it.
So if following this, that you need some things, will you start doing kids wear, for example? Because you need it now.
Kids wear is the biggest problem on kids wear are the minimum of the fabrics.
Yes.
So if you produce 500 meters,
you give
you can
2,000 pieces.
Yeah, you can maybe get 1,000 pieces out of it
to wear all the German babies.
Yeah. So maybe for the moment, no trousers for the babies, but I contacted already a company called Burrell. You know them?
Yeah.
They make fabrics, wool fabrics in the Serra del Estrella. They are based, and I contacted them because of one piece overall for babies to send me some samples. And maybe today, maybe on Monday, I will have the samples in my hotel and we'll check them. And maybe we do a little woolen overall one piece things for babies.
You can do a collection called Enric.
No, that's a big problem, because if you use names, for example, like from your child, or we did it so all our clothes, every single piece has a name in our online shop. And if I would name one of these, like one of our partners, then I have the problem if I search in my emails and I write Amelia in it, then it shows up all the clothes which are sold, but I need to find the one email from the real Amelia, and that's quite hard in my email organization. That's why I shouldn't name something Henrik.
Okay.
You know?
Little Henrik?
Little Henrik.
Can be.
We call it the little senor.
The little senor.
The pequeño senor.
Pequeño senor.
Yeah.
What kind of advices that you give to a person that wants to start their own business in fashion business? Here we talk about fashion business. What kind of advices you give on a production point of view, on the product development point of view? Because I mentioned that some guys
start as small as possible.
Small as possible.
Yeah. If they say we have a minimum quantity of 300, then ask to do 150. If they don't do 150, ask if you maybe can have 2 colors, 150, 150. That's
always push the supplier.
No, push the supplier. Yeah. No, try to start as small as possible. Don't start with 2,000 t-shirts, and to get a good price, start maybe, if you have the option, with 100 t-shirts and a high price, and bring the price afterwards down with a bigger quantities.
You say,
but make your mistakes in small amounts. So you will not produce your first t-shirt will not your best t-shirt you ever made. Yeah. So you have to improve step by step, and also don't lose, or just lose money that you are able to lose. So you should be not bankrupt.
Yeah.
It's something I liked on the way I did it. So to start as small as possible.
Did you have someone in the beginning that helped you, that you remember? Because the beginnings are always difficult, and we always, in our beginnings, we have always someone that we believe, I remember this person that helped me in this critical stage. Did you have someone?
I cannot remember.
No. You were like a lone wolf.
I'm a lone wolf.
Driving your bicycle through the north of Portugal.
Yeah. No, there was no person, but yeah, it's always good to get in contact with people.
The contacts are super important.
Ask your questions as many as you have, because they will give you some answers, and you can remember them, and you get better by your own from time to time. It's also very important that you know what you are doing. So it's a very good thing to know how to sew if you let produce garments, because then you understand what's happening there, and you can find solutions by your own. So that's something. But I thought it's quite more easy if you have a problem with a trouser or so, that you maybe already know 2 solutions to solve the problem, and go with them to the production, and maybe they have a third one, and then you can choose. And so they don't know everything.
Did you continue sewing some ideas you have now, or once you have all the partners, do you just send the tech pack inspirations, and they do the first sample for you to test?
Yeah, because nowadays our products are so complicated in a construction that I'm not able to sew them by my own anymore.
Okay.
But I have 2 sewing machines in my office. At the moment, I have
for the museum, or for you to...
No, just to do some very little stuff, or if I need something by my own, then I start sewing again.
Do you have fabrics in
we still have a stock of fabrics.
You can test the fabrics.
Sometimes I do. So if we just, for example, some puppy jackets, and I sew a little pillow, and then we can do some washing tests or hand feel and so
to understand
all stuff.
The shrinkage and the peeling.
Or if we get a sample and I think it should be here something different, or so then I suit it and then I send it back and say that's a solution we could do.
What do you believe and what is your will for the future of your brand? Your brand, when I say your brand, your life, everything that is around Holger, Lisa, Henrik, Adele Bergzauber.
Well, for the next years is definitely so. We want to make more sales per day, to speed up our need to that we can produce more, because now we have sometimes the problem. So we have some bestsellers which run out quite easily and actually too often. So we have to check that we have enough fabric on stock, and we let produce some fabric which we have with the fabric company, and there's on stock some grades, and that we are faster there. But also we have some products which we produce and they were not so easily sold out. So
because of the quantities?
Yeah, quantities, and also we don't sell them so good. So we have some bestsellers. You always have some bestsellers, and then you have other products.
This is normal.
And for us, it would be good to grow a little bit, to sell more, that we can produce more often. Also the products which are not selling so good, because it's nice to change them all the time. So that you don't have over 1.5 years the same product in your store. So it's cooler than you have it for 6 months, 8 months, and then there's something new, and then you can be creative, and it's so much fun to start something, to choose a fabric, to do a design, to see a sample, to do a second sample, to start
even for the client to go to the website and seeing new stuff.
Yeah, that's also fine. But for ourselves, it's a lot of fun to work and to produce and to make clothes, to get in contact. And if you have some products which running not so well, normally they're in one company. We have 9 companies. In 6 of them we do our best sellers, and in the other 3 we do the other stuff. And with them we have to work so slowly, and so when we get a sample, then it lies there maybe for 2 days or so. So it's no touch from our side. So everything is so slow, and it's cooler if it's a bit faster. So
that's normal.
That would be nice.
That's
my next step. And then for the future, I would like to have some employees and be a middle big company. But the funny thing is, for real, we have a wide range. In my opinion, we have a wide range of products, and we do this with just 2 people. And I think that's very impressive.
This is remarkable.
And and it's funny. I'm not sure when we will have the need to have our first real employee from outside our family. And that's also something for who starts. It's possible. You can do so many things by your own.
Yeah, you can do a lot of things. I can tell you.
It's so good.
And you personally, you want to retire at 45 and having two children?
It's in 4 years. I think two children are possible in 2 years.
You can do a lot of things in 2 years.
Retirement is not the right.
4 years, 5 years. You can do a lot of things.
No, I want to travel a lot more. And
more than you are doing?
No. I think like we do. Yeah. That's good. I don't need a retirement. I really like the job and to work and to be creative all the time.
The game changing because you don't look to your retirement because
that's good. Yeah.
You are doing something that makes you feel alive, and you want to do new things.
I don't have a panic for Mondays.
Yeah, so we had already this
evening. Oh my God, tomorrow is Monday, and when it's Friday.
I don't have it too.
Yeah.
I don't know what is happening, but I don't have it too because I work in in Sunday, Saturday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday. I work all the days.
Like I said yesterday to you, for me it's always Sunday.
Yeah. So I now I understand you. I didn't like the Mondays. Now I like Mondays.
Mondays are great, and you can start.
Yeah.
The people go on the telephone if you call them.
Yeah, this is a game changing, and I've been understanding it since quite a time, and I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
Holger, it was a great conversation. I can tell you that you are my friend. We know each other since a long time ago. We spent already a lot of time with Rico and Mike traveling with our bicycles from the Portuguese mountains. Actually, I break one in Terras do Goro, if you remember. It was a hard downhill, and I break the bicycle. For me, you are a friend. You came to my wedding. We remember pretty well, and I want to say thank you to have you here. It was a good conversation. We know each other, but
it's always good to have an hour to talk about something.
Yes, it is, because
which not it's mountain biking.
Yeah, and the mountain biking, we stop in a high hill, 3 minutes, 5 minutes just to hit an orange or something, and continue going and screaming, Rico, fast. But it's funny to have this conversation. I want to say thank you. Thanks for your time, and I want to sit with you in 1 year, 10 years to talk about it. Probably in 10 years, I'll have a lot of people working with me. You will have a lot of people working with you too. And this is the life happening. Thanks for your time.
Thanks for your time. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. It was a good conversation.
And now comes the cut 10 years later. And we still sit there. Yeah. I wish in the future I had some employees. That would be nice.
I will do this cutting. Yeah.